Okay, so while we wait for the other people to come on, I'm just gonna start with some housekeeping after that song. Stay until the end to see who wins the grand prize, and you will find out who gets the free seeds for having posted the most voted number of pictures of the day. So each day will have a winner. Mute yourselves for anybody who's just hopping on board. Mute yourselves whenever you think a person. Feel free, I'm gonna stop share because right now you just probably wanna see my face. Feel free to turn off your cameras if you feel uncomfortable, or though I'd love to see you face to face, this is the first time wherever we are using this Zoom webinar where we see the people. Usually on our webinars, it's just me that you see, and all I see is our chat, and Dave gets on the chat here. So Dave will be answering any questions you may have if you put them in the chat box, but otherwise, we will get to your questions right away. Today, we're going to specifically talk about the pantry items you started, and then we'll have a little sharing about what you guys did experimentally, and then we have a bonus extra something for you guys. Only for those who took the time out to see us on Zoom this Monday. So at the end, we're going to offer a way for you guys to work more with us in the future. So let's begin with this.
Hey Nick, do you want to advise whether during your actual first part where you're presenting?
What did you say?
Do you want to advise that people should probably mute while you're doing the first part of this?
Yes. So go ahead and mute your video and your audio. That's actually what I said. That in my first slide was mute your video. Okay. All right. So and then mute your video, and then we'll open it up for questions. So how to keep my plants alive? Screen share, and here we go. Kitchen garden success. Celery. Online, you will find that celery is a cool growing crop. But from our experience, it doesn't like it too cold, like anywhere under 60. It actually has a small window of temperature that it likes, but it grows, but on top of that, it grows slowly. So by rooting it, as you have done, instead of sowing it from seed, you actually get a better chance of harvesting those stalks. Now, Dave, I think I may have forgotten to do this, but could you please record the video? Because I think you have that ability.
Yeah, it's recording.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay, great. So there, cool weather crop. Oops, previous. Okay, now celery, transplant it outdoors when the weather is consistently above 60 degrees. And it actually, 60 is a good number to remember for celery because as 60 days is its number of days before you harvest it once you've got it transplanted outside. But you can tell as well, you know, from being so familiar with celery when you want to cut those stalks. They may or may not go as thick as you had them in the beginning. Make sure that the root on the base of the celery is formed before transplanting. And then celery likes leeks, tomatoes, beans, cauliflower. What you want to watch out for are the cucurbits. So what are cucurbits? These are all types of squash, pumpkins, cucumbers, as the name suggests, cucurbits, zucchinis. So those are the family of plants that celery does not grow well with. And here are some of your pictures. So, well, not this one, but celery from rooting to harvest. So you've rooted them and then you would harvest the left-hand picture. And whose picture is this? This is Brittany Rostelan. So for the first day, Brittany, you got the seeds. And I don't know if you are online. Are you online, Brittany? Not yet. Okay, I cannot see since I'm on the share window. So Dave, you'll back me up. Then that's her picture right there. Now mung beans, or any beans of your choice. So mung beans in particular are easy to sprout. They're low in calories, high in vitamin C, because some people might ask, why do you sprout mung beans? But they can be eaten in different ways, and they're sprouted in different ways as well. Some sprout them in jars, some sprout them on soil as we did. And the reason that people sprout them in jars is because they just want to keep it cleaner, because they eat the sprouts right away and they don't want the soil all messing it up. But then they can also be grown into full-size bean plants. And I have this YouTube here that I can send in the email that follows up after this for your reference if you ever wanted to grow the mung beans to its full size. Lois had a question. The mung beans are like runner beans, like pole beans, so they are not bush beans. Good question, Lois. So you would need poles or stakes or some sort of trellising for them to grow up in. And they also take 60 days to harvest. And there we go. And this is how I sprout the mung beans. So I know that in Asian stores, you buy them like sprouted very, very young. But when we sprout them, I like seeing the greens, and then I put them in my stir fries. And this is the mung bean picture that won. Amanda, congratulations. So you win a free packet of seeds. Yay. And potatoes. So now potatoes, plant these in spring. Now is the time to put your potatoes in the ground, actually. It is also a cool weather crop, and it takes a long time to harvest. The earliest is 7 days. They're called early potatoes. Late potatoes, 125 days. How do you know when to harvest them? When their flowers wilt at about 3 feet in height. And once their buds start to form roots in your jar, simply place them in a dedicated spot outside your yard. We do not recommend sowing. Welcome, whoever came. We do not recommend sowing in a bag, as we have done in the past, as that will hinder your maximum yield. Sometimes people put them, you've seen some YouTube videos perhaps, of people putting the potatoes in a gigantic trash can. And that's fine if you're lacking space, but if you have the space in your yard, put it straight in your yard and you will get more potatoes. Now, the only pest problems, you could think of is potato beetle and blight. I didn't put companion plants because potatoes actually don't grow well with certain plants, but I can't remember what they are right now. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. The nightshades, and I will get back to you on that. Perhaps Dave might know, but companion plants, I'm drawing a blank. I do have a book though, that's a good reference for that. And it's called so The Suburban Micro Farm. And I was going to, I will get, when I get a break and I switch over with Dave, talks a little bit more and answers your specific questions, I will get that book for you and find out what potato doesn't grow well with. So this is how it grew in a bag, really squished up and not very nice. And this is how it looks like when it's starting to bud and form the roots. See those orange roots? Depends on what variety you're growing. And then this is how we harvested them. And the winner is Melissa Buford. I think it's Melissa Buford. It says Melissa B here. But this is your potato. So congratulations. We will send you your seeds. We would just have to touch base via email so that we know where to send them to. Garlic, plant in the fall, also in the spring. So now is not the most optimal time to plant garlic, but you can still do it. I just wanted to reiterate that correction, that all my life I haven't been growing that long. Dave has been growing longer than I have. But all these years of growing, I've been growing my garlic upside down. So, and then it was pointed out to me that was the wrong side up. And I saw myself that my garlic was popping out, trying to right itself up. So it really is bud side up. So the green can grow up, of course, and the basal plate where the root forms will be pointing down. So it will produce an entire head from one clove. It's a good companion plant to most plants because they ward off pests. Yes. So that old, that myth of garlic, against witches and sickness and stuff like that, it holds true even in the soil. So it's really good against the bad bugs and the bad pests. So companion plants as you can see, beets, lettuce, strawberry, tomatoes. Harvest when the tops start to dry out at about 90 days. So that's 3 months. What does garlic look like when it's budding like this? And then you put it in the ground. And then when we harvest it, you actually take 2 to 3 weeks to cure them. So we put them up on our pan rack, our pot rack up there, and we just let them dry out because it gets stronger that way. Stronger in flavor and stronger in potency. And the winner for the garlic picture is Jean Rudd. So congratulations, Jean. How could we not vote for this very fun picture of your hens checking out your garlic? Finally, well, not second to the experiment, quinoa sprouts. A cool weather crop. So the benefits of sprouting, again, more protein, more fiber, especially for quinoa. It's also easy to sprout them, and you need about, okay, for mung beans, you need about 10 plants to give you a pound of mung. Oh, no, for quinoa sprouts, you need about 10 plants to give you a pound of seeds of quinoa. And it can even be grown in pots. Quinoa is also drought resistant and also requires 10 inches of water, only 10 inches of water during each growing season. So harvest the quinoa once the leaves have fallen off, or you can see that the dried seed head is there. Even if the leaves haven't fallen off, the dried seed head is ready to harvest. Strip the seeds off the stalk by pulling up the head with a gloved hand. So it's easier to take the quinoa off instead of going one by one, seed by seed. So there is a great video as well here to show you how to do it. It's year-round. You can have greens or sprouts year-round if grown indoors on trays, and if you just want to eat it as sprouts. But if you want to grow the actual plant to just see how quinoa grows, it's 90 to 120 days to mature. So a little on the long side, just as the potatoes. Cool weather crops are like that. They take longer to grow. So what now, just sprouts in general, these are all the benefits of sprouting and why we just keep a tray of sprouts in our kitchen and in our house every day so that we can add it to everything that we eat. Improves blood circulation, helps reduce heart risks, and so many good things. And it just gives you a really nice boost of energy when you eat it. And the winner for the sprouts is, for quinoa, is Melissa B again. So Melissa, let me stop here and see who else is on. Carrie, welcome. Thanks for muting. But yeah, so Jean, congratulations, Amanda, Melissa, Jean.
Yeah,
Oh no, Amanda, do you get that? No. Melissa, Amanda, yes. Amanda won the mung beans. Melissa won the potatoes and the quinoa. And Jean won garlic. And celery was, now I can't remember. Brittany, I think. Brittany Rosalind, okay?
As soon as James comes up and
Hi.
I don't need those $3.
Hi, Jean. Congratulations. Yes. Okay. Great. So those are the everyday pictures, all right? So now I wanted to tell you there. Blah, 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 blah.
If I have volume on here and then I pull it out and I don't have volume, do I have to reload the page? Oh, now I don't have volume. I had volume for a second. Oh, wait, there it is.
Is that you, Jean? You're having trouble?
Yes.
You can chat with Dave on the chat box. Like you can ask him if you need any help in
Hey, Gene, let's say blessing.
getting set up technically, because that's it.
There's like nobody on here. This is like plant.
So I'll screen share that last picture again. Okay. So share. What was your experiment plant? What was your experiment plant? So I'm going to stop share and I'm going to ask you guys. Go ahead. So I know you're cooking, Amanda, which is great multitasking. And Lois and Carrie, and you can unmute yourselves. Amanda, do you wanna start if you have any? What did your experimental day plan? So you just unmute.
Sorry, Nikki, you wanted to unmute? Do you want to do it each person as you talk to them?
So yeah, let's do one at a time. Let's do Amanda first, since she's the first one coming up on my screen.
I planted the shallots.
Oh, you did the shallots? Oh, wow. So Dave, what is our experience with the shallots?
You mean what they're growth pattern? Yeah, the shallots are interesting. They're clumping.
There is only grapefruit and avocado.
What happens is you'll see multiple shoots come up.
Okay.
And, what you'll do is you'll let it grow kind of slowly. And then in the summertime, right before it starts to flower, or if it's starting to bud, you can pull out all the shallots. Each shoot will be a separate bulb, but then you can just leave one or two in the ground.
Sorry.
And then you can continue. They'll continue to bunch, almost like a perennial. So the following year, you'll have more shallots to grow. So I hope that answers your question. I'm going to give it back to Nikki now.
Okay.
You're on mute, Nikki. Unmute.
Sorry, good one, Amanda.
All right.
You can keep on cooking. I don't want dinner to be late for your family. But yes, so shallots is a good one to always start, and it's an easy one. And Dave, you have the power to mute or unmute.
All right, I'll mute myself. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then let's see who's next. Lois, I will, Dave, can you unmute Lois, please? So she can tell us what her experience is, or her experiment.
I tried ginger, soaking it, and I don't have any change in the ginger root yet. I also did romaine lettuce. And I have an onion that's on the counter that's blooming profusely. And the long, slender leaves I'm chopping off and using like green onions.
Oh, that's a good.
And then I finally put it in water so the onion itself is rooting.
Ginger is a tropical plant, so it's probably going to grow a bit more slowly. I would just, with ginger, it's going to probably take a month or two to really kind of establish itself outside. Things like the lettuce and the celery are they're cool weather crops, so they'll probably grow a lot faster.
Okay. Oh, is that helpful, Lois? Uh-oh, I think you froze. I think Lois's camera froze, or her transmission froze. Lois, if you can still hear us, maybe you can try the chat box too, which is on the right-hand side, or lower rightish, lower middle. There's a button there that says chat, and if you type in your questions, that might help us. If you, yep, there. You okay? You froze. I will just chat to you. You froze. All right. So sorry, Lois, that this is ended prematurely. Okay, Carrie, you are on next. Go ahead, Carrie. Did you do the Plant Your Pantry Challenge by any chance? Oh, Carrie is, I think, on the chat. So we can say, we can tell what, okay, so Carrie, if you cannot if you don't have a mic or an audio or a video, you can just chat and we can get your questions from there. If you did the Plant Your Pantry Challenge. Oh, there, Lois, you're back. Yay. Okay, Lois. Did that answer your question, or did you catch Dave's question?
How do I unmute it?
So there's the top bar, there's a mute symbol on the buttons, top row of buttons.
Sorry, Carrie.
Top row.
Lois.
Okay, so which one?
There's that's mutes it,
It
controls
was,
it.
okay, it's unmuted.
Yeah, we can hear you, Lois.
I lost connection, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Did you catch what Dave said?
No,
Okay.
just that he said that ginger was a tropical plant that would take a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I said. So you didn't miss much else. I was just saying that celery and lettuce are cool weather crops, so they'll grow faster.
Okay,
Although celery is a little sensitive to frost, so if you still have frost in your area, I wouldn't put it outside yet. But lettuce is pretty hardy, so lettuce you could put out a little earlier than celery.
okay.
Sorry, I have a little guy here, so that's why.
It's on again.
That's what you're hearing in the background.
All right. So
you
Carrie, I see that you're unmuted. Did you want to say anything, or did you have any thing to share, like on your experiment side of the Plant Your Pantry game? If you did it, and if you didn't, no worries.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
There you are.
Hi, I had to put my kids down for bed, so I missed a little bit there. I'm sorry.
No, we understand.
I haven't been able to do the Plant Your Pantry game, but I wanted to make sure and jump in and get as much information as I could. We're getting ready to get seeds and whatnot going here. So.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So yeah, the last day was an experiment. You could do whatever, but yes, if you have any questions.
Well, our weather here is really wonky. We're down in Northwest Arkansas. And so last week it was almost 80, and today the high was 40, and next week it's supposed to be mid 70s again. So we're all over the place right now. Yeah. And I haven't started, I wanted to start some kale. So I was going to try putting some potting soil in egg crates, and then putting the seeds in those, and then once it's warm enough and it's sprouted, going ahead and putting those out. Would that work?
So we've tried that as well. We've tried the tissue rolls. We found that sprouting them on a seed flat that has no holes in them is the best way, because they don't get waterlogged. And at that point in time, when you plant the seeds, and kale is pretty small, they really want as much water as they can to germinate, and then they germinate well. And you get higher germination rates in the trays, the 10 by 20 trays that we use in our garden game. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. But those ones, that's the best way to go. Then rather than using egg cartons, because then they dry out, and then a lot of them will die. Now with your weather, because it's up and down, you want to plant, and you're kind of, Arkansas, I haven't checked this on the map, but I would say semi-arid. Are you kind of deserty?
No, we have a good amount of rainfall typically.
How many? Okay, that's good. But because your weather's up and down, you probably want a shade cloth. If it's on a sunny side. Right now you don't have to, but during the summer, you probably want a shade cloth on your kale. But
yes, it bolted last year because it got so hot, and I didn't have anything over it, and so it was quite a mess.
Oh no! So hopefully this year, and hopefully with what we have to what we were going to share with you next, because that was so yes. So we'll get to that. I'll get to what I wanted, my other bonus stuff that we had in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure we caught everybody. So Jean, you're next. Oh, Jean, you're welcome. I wanted to thank you guys in general for doing the Pantry Planet Challenge. It was pretty fun. So Jean, go ahead and unmute yourself, or Dave, you can unmute her, I guess. And you can ask any questions or tell us about your experiments. Oh, I have a celery question. I think the celery I started didn't have enough roots. It started rotting in the water on the outside, but is growing in the middle, little baby stalk. So cute. When do I plant it outside? That is, if it had grown roots. I don't have audio. Okay. Yes. So I would put, you're in Colorado, I would put it in a pot. Now a 1 gallon pot is enough. I would put your celery in a pot, and especially if it's already rotting on the sides, but you know that it's still growing somehow, and keep the pot really watered and have a plate under that pot when you do so, and just grow it indoors until the weather is better, because like I said, it's very finicky and it will die outside right now if you're in Colorado. So because here in Northern Virginia, I wouldn't put it outside yet, but I'm just raring to do that. So I'm going to put it in a big pot, in a 1 gallon pot. Okay, yes, it will actually start growing roots. And you're welcome to get more celery and try again and see, in an experiment, and try it again with the next base that you have. So I'm going to exchange, and then hello, welcome, Michelle. We are talking to each of the pantry planters, and if I'm going to go by order of person who joined in, so I will get to you after Megan. I hope that would actually grow. Okay, neat. Yes, awesome. All right, thank you, Jean. Megan, welcome back. So Megan is
Well, when you imitate somebody, you exaggerate a little bit.
Oh, Michelle, if you could mute yourself. Awesome, thank you. And I will get to your question after Megan. So Megan, if you could unmute yourself, or you could just type in the chat box if you have no audio or camera, what your question is. My sister played the March game. You have tried in the pot and everything. Her name is Brittany. Yes, okay, you've tried the pot and everything and it still didn't root. Well, like I said, the important thing is the roots form. And hopefully if you get the roots well and ready without it rotting. So what causes the rot?
What we found is that with certain plants, you kind of have to develop the roots before you transplant it. So we found that too when we take cuttings, is that even though it starts to bud and produce leaves, that when you stick it in soil, it'll just, the leaves will start to die. So what you're trying to encourage is the new growth. So you try to generate that rooting. One thing that I would recommend is if you're having trouble getting it to root, you can add, like the professionals will add something called rooting hormone when they do cuttings. But what you can do is take a little bit of honey and just mix it in the water that you put the celery in, or whatever you're taking a cutting of, and that'll encourage the rooting.
Okay, good question, Meg. I mean, Brittany and Brittany. And finally, oh, Michelle. Michelle is not with us, or I don't see her screen anymore. All right, so I wanted to tell you who the 6 possible grand prize winners are next. So I will share my screen. Share screen. Okay. Oh, so this was Lori's onion. That was her experiment. Okay, hold your questions. Well, you already had your questions, but we will have some more questions, I'm sure. So in the running to win this garden game. So what is the garden game? Are Lois, Pauline, Jean, Melissa, and Amanda. And Michelle, if you are back again, Dave, just kindly chat with her. And I had a previous screen that said, hold your questions till the end and I'll get back to you after this. So we keep time. But Lois, Pauline, Jean, Melissa, Amanda. Oh, and one more, Brittany. I missed that. So Brittany, you are in the running to win the garden game. And within no particular order, I have numbered you from 1 to 6. Lois, Pauline, Brittany, Jean, Amanda, Melissa. And I'm gonna ask one of you to pull a number, one to say, to shout out a number, and that will be the winner of the garden game. What is this garden game? Now exactly what are they winning? So we thought of a bit of a preview. Oops, previous slide. What is this garden game 2017? Oops. All right, so it includes organic seeds worth $50 of value from Baker's Creek Heirloom Seeds. And even when we buy these seeds, this is like the selling price, okay? It's curated, tried and tested, non-GMO seeds to maximize flavor and function.
There may be some coming from Seed Savers as well and some other
Okay.
organic providers. So
Yes. And the garden game winner will also be given 3 heavy-duty seed flats. These are the trays we were talking about earlier, Amanda, and we've tried a lot of these. They're called 1020 seed flats, but these ones will not break after one use, and we use them over and over again. And of course, we don't like that they're plastic. We'd rather, if you have wooden versions of those, use those, or can make these, then make them. But if you want like a heavy-duty plastic tray that will last forever and will create an abundant garden for you, because it'll be sprouting so many seeds at once, this is it. And then the winner will also have full access on top of those seeds to the garden game, which is right now a $74 value. It really is it's like lower value. It really is about $100 value because of the of all the information that we put into it in the modules and the games and all the creativity and the seeds and the guidance of growing that we are giving. So what is this garden game? There's a garden map to organize and guide you to where you're going, which is harvest. So you start out with seeds and you end up with harvesting your plant. You have a garden planner with a built-in template for 3 things: an herb spiral, a square-foot garden, and an outdoor classroom. So we talk about soil building, water harvesting, and then this is it again in a nutshell. It's basically a step-by-step blueprint of what you are going to do to create that abundant 2017 garden. So it's almost, I would say it's almost foolproof unless you log in and you don't do anything with all the information that you were given. But there are lots of videos. There's an online community to hold you accountable and to share your experience with and to provide guidance. So other gardeners will be ahead of you and they can join you in the forums and tell you more what they're learning, because it's all about how long you've been growing in this garden game. That's how much more you know. There's a lot of garden motivation and these little mini challenges like the Plant Your Pantry challenge that you just played. There will be little mini challenges like bug hunting or weed identification that'll help you on your way to harvesting. So unless we forget, we actually get to grow and harvest your own food. So here's a preview of what like Megan, who's on the call, did last time around, and she was one of the garden. Oh, now I can't remember garden gurus. She did all the modules, I think, up to transplanting. But you get basically a step-by-step blueprint of what you're supposed to do, documenting it.
This is the data that you're showing the pictures, right? Not the actual. So
yes. So Dave will tell you more about what this is. Go ahead, love.
No, I mean, this Plant Your Pantry challenge is kind of a little thing to encourage you that you don't even have to go out and buy seeds, that you can just look in your pantry and find stuff to grow. But about 3 years ago, we learned about something called permaculture, which is a sustainable agriculture system. So since then, we've been kind of rocket propelled, growing all kinds of stuff. Like we live in a townhouse and we have 1/27th of an acre. And since then we now have like over 30 perennials, over fruit trees, all kinds of things. So we went from having nothing, just your regular suburban yard, to having this wonderfully abundant garden that produces all kinds of fruits and vegetables. So we kind of got even energized more than that to go further and educate people and let people know how easy it is to grow your own food. So that's why we came up with this idea of the garden game, that it was a kind of fun and motivational way to get people who may have not, they might have been thinking about growing, but and they wanted to eat their own food, but might be a little nervous or had previous bad experiences growing. So we wanted to kind of encourage, put it in a kind of fun context, but underlying all of this is a load of information about how to start your seeds, how to manage your calendar so that you know when to plant based off your zone, your part of the country. Anyway, I don't want to go on, so I'll keep the driver on this. I'll just be quiet.
Yeah, so it's basically a tool online while you go offline, so that it'll help you track everything and help you stay on task. But it's not a chore, it's fun. So we provide education. So we have reference, and we use permaculture techniques. We will have a planting calendar and a garden planner online, step-by-step guidance and printable PDFs. And some of these PDFs are really like good for kids, because I just made them with teaching my own kids in mind, like the planting calendar. Also, it gives you a lot of motivation because you clearly see your path in the game. There's simple steps, there's reminder emails, there are prizes and incentives and mini games and awards, like the seeds, like the Plant Your Pantry Challenge. And then you grow with online buddies who are also doing the same thing as you in different places. And then you have group gardener meetings over Zoom like this, and seed swaps in the fall. So you get inspiration from what everyone else is doing. So the end result, an herb spiral, just like this one. So there is a lot of, I could speak about an herb spiral for an hour, so I won't. But basically, it's a small space with jam-packed with a lot of stuff for your kitchen. And this is what it looks like inside the game. Another end result is a square foot garden planner that'll help you create, just if you wanted it simple, do it in a square foot garden. And if you wanted something a little bit more advanced because you're already an advanced grower, then we also have a children's garden because we've made one for our school. What does that require? What do children need to help teach them about plants and nature and bugs and weeds, and what do they need to see? So it's basically a sensory garden. So from these sprouts to your table, that is where the garden game, in a nutshell, leads you. So it's not just the seeds, it's not just the kit, it's growing with us and growing with a community of other growers who have the experience that you may not have. When you grow alone, there are hit or miss results, there's uncertainty, sometimes it feels like a chore, and you get discouraged and you waste a lot of money on the wrong seeds sometimes. But when you grow with us, you get a blueprint, you get motivation, and you get communication, that why is this thing not growing? Then you would have people to answer that question according to your growing zone and from us, from our years of experience. So usually these plants as seeds online, if you look right now, they're $49 for all the kinds of seeds that we're giving you. And they are non-GMO, organic, pesticide-free, heirloom seeds, curated, that we know this variety grows really well in our experience, okay? So you have that, $49, plus the garden game, plus the seeds and trays. Ooh, that's the wrong. And then you get your abundant harvest. So you get $50 plus $10 for the trays and $74 for our garden game. How much does that get you? $134. But this is just a preview, just for you guys on tonight. For those of you who don't win, the grand prize, which is full access to the garden game and all the seeds and everything that we just talked about. If you go to growmyownfood.com, I wonder if this will screen share my growmyownfood.com. If you go to growmyownfood.com and you click on garden game, just for tonight, actually just for tonight until Friday.
Oh, I didn't see anything on your, are you sharing?
Yes. You don't see it?
I don't see anything.
Resume share. Oh, it only shares my PowerPoint. Okay. Hang on a second. Let me go back to the sharing button. Stop share. Let me share the proper screen. There, this is it. If you go to Garden Game 2017, I've just put a button up that says, click here for the secret page. So there's an early bird plant gift. But your button is the secret page because it has on top of all that, okay, you got your $50, you got your heavy duty seed flats, you got access to the garden game. Your price is $49 plus we're gonna ship you strawberry plants. What? So that's a ridiculous amount of stuff. We are totally losing money on this, but we do this to all our friends, okay? We go and, do you want plants? We're gonna help you grow. Here are some plants, here's a tray. But you have to like pay us the price of shipping. So if you sign up for this, we will get you into the garden game early bird and you get all that stuff that I just talked about. And you can review them. I put them all on that secret page, just for the ones who are on this Zoom webinar, okay? Those who registered and they didn't show up, you know, sorry. It does take a little bit of perseverance and, you know, I would like to start a garden, like desire to start a garden to actually get that garden growing. It's not an instant pop-up thing. So this shows me that there is really some interest and your being here on this Zoom webinar shows that. So with that said, let me see what else. Stop share. No. Oh, that's the end of my, I will stop share there. That's the end of my presentation. We will find out who the garden game winner is. So I'm gonna, who else is on here? Jean, Lois, me, there's 7 of us. Oh, and Michelle, I'm so sorry that somebody was on here and then left because I would have asked her to pick a number. But Amanda, since I see your daughter in the background, can she give us a number from 1 to 6 or between 1 to 6, pick a number and we'll call out who that is. And that's the winner of the garden.
Pick a number.
4.
Did you hear that? She said 4. Yeah.
Okay. Is Amanda?
I won.
Okay, I have proof, okay? I'm not rigging this. Oh, no.
Really?
Yes.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Okay. I hope I hope you make good use of what we're sending you.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about the herb spiral. That looked really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That one's really a really good one.
Yeah.
Because we can talk, that's basically a permaculture icon, that herb spiral, because the positioning of the plants matters in that herb spiral and it saves you time from watering. It saves you space and you basically have all your herbs in one spot. So,
well, great.
Congratulations.
I'm excited. Yay.
Yay.
So thank you.
All right. You're welcome. And for the rest of you, yes. You get that link, that special link, and the cart closes Friday for that. Okay. And we'll be offering it again at a different rate at the end of the month. But just for our pantry planners, we just thought we would roll this out early. So, yeah.
Nikki, what was the website again?
Growmyownfood.com.
Okay, thank you.
Growmyownfood.com, and then click on the garden game, and there's a secret link there that'll only be there for this week, and it'll end on Friday.
Are you also going to send out links or?
Yes, definitely. There will be follow-up emails, so don't be surprised if I have a few more emails at the end of this week. just reminding you if you guys.
And then, yeah, we might also reach out to the people who won seeds for a choice of what seed you'd like to. We have a bunch of seeds, so about which seed you'd like to pick for your prize.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? No? Wow. Well, we will end with, okay. So I had a rough start with the audio video, but let me try that again. Celery with mung beans, with garlic and with potatoes, with quinoa and with all the sweet out. All you need is 15, just 15 minutes a day, and you'll get your garden, there is no doubt. What about bugs? What about weeds? What about water? What else do I need? So that's all I have. Seasons of love. Okay, good night, everybody. We will see you again in your inbox.
Good
Very
night.
much for coming out. And congratulations.